Hare Krishna. Why do we get distracted in this world by different things, which is called Asat Trishna? Asat means that which is temporary. Trishna means thirst. So we have a thirst for chasing after the temporary things of this world and invite suffering. Why will somebody want to invite suffering? We all want to invite happiness in our lives. Because we immediately identify with the glitter and glamour of this external world, which is like broken pieces of glass, which is shining, looking like a diamond. Although it is not diamond, it is simply an imitation of the diamond. Therefore, for one to withdraw one's mind from the shining glitter and glamour of this world, one has to have respect for the Supreme Lord and respect for the sacred scriptures which describe His glories. But 99% of the population is not interested in even making a research on the Supreme Lord. They are simply absorbed in the temporary shining broken pieces of glass of this world. You will see when you make a comparison between what we do and what the Lord does, then that helps us to understand His greatness. For example, when you fly in an aeroplane in the night, you can see millions of bulbs in the cities. When you are landing, when an aeroplane is about to land in a city, you will see everybody's house has 5 or 10 bulbs. But when the Supreme Lord decides to give light to this world, He has to send only one bulb in the morning. One bulb He hands over from the top, just like the chandelier, like this. What is the bulb? That is the sun. He doesn't have to give you millions of lights. Just one light is enough, which is lighting up the whole world. Similarly, in the night, you want to put a night light, only one light. He puts the moon, which is a dim light. Morning is a bright light. Whereas when the living entities, we want to create light in this world in the dark night, we will have to have millions of lights. That is our limited power, because we cannot create a powerful bulb like the sun. Ask scientists to create one sun which can lit up the whole world. You cannot do that. In the same manner, you will see in the Lord's creation, when one compares, man tries to imitate the Lord's creation, just like a mother or father may give a child some china clay or some toys. They combine the toys and make a house. You've seen that? They can only make a toy house. Parents make the real house. Similarly, Lord makes the real sun. We make mercury bulbs. Our Lord makes the real moon. We make dome lights. So one has to observe our activities of the living entities are a poor imitation of the Supreme Lord. Like for example, in the spiritual world, the Lord and His devotees everybody is transcendently beautiful. There is not even mukta dosha, it is said. There is no iota of any kind of blemish or deficiency in their body. Whereas in this world, people try to look beautiful. Somebody is black, they try to cover up the black by Fair and Lovely. Somebody want to show my lips are rosy, they put some paint on the lips, put some lipstick. Somebody has no hair. Nowadays they add extra hair like a wig, so that they can look very beautiful. So in this way, this nakli beauty is cooked up beauty. That's why they call it as a make-up. Make-up means it is not there. You have to make it up for what is not there in this world. So one has to be very observant in this world that whatever the living entities are making an effort to make this world a better place is simply cover up of the reality. And this covered up so-called reality cannot make us happy. But the Lord gives the original. We make the nakli. He gives asli, we make nakli. So the more one observes the creation of the Lord, one's respect for the Lord will greatly increase. Prabhupada says, you open a pomegranate and see inside there are small, like pearl-like fruits. What a design it is. And every one of those seeds you throw it, you can make one tree. Hundreds and thousands and millions of trees can come. What is His creation? Yeah. So man many times watches the nature, observes nature and tries to make, just like based on the bone system in your body, they have made these bridges. The stability of the bones in the body, based on that they have made the bridges. Watching the birds, they have made the aeroplanes. So God makes things first and we just copy. And in our own minuscule small way, like a small kid imitating the parents. Parents use real currency. Children use nakli currency in the trade or business game. So when we are convinced about this, that our activities are puny, trivial, insignificant and pathetic and cannot satisfy our hearts. And Lord's activities are great, extraordinary, unimitatable, and they are going on and on forever. Lord created one sun, and you can see that for millions of years it is called Ashesha Teja. Whereas we make a bulb, it gets fused. We make an aeroplane, it requires petrol, Prabhupada says. When petrol is over, it has to come down. Whereas Lord made Saturn and Jupiter, and they go on and on and on. For millions of years they go. Nobody is supplying fuel to the sun. God is giving the energy to the sun to go on and on. So, simply by memorizing shlokas and repeating like a parrot alone, we will not be able to understand the greatness of the Lord. We may be in our own little world like a frog in the well, imagining we know Shastras. The Shastras can be well understood only by one who develops a deep reverence and respect for the Lord in the heart by observing the nature. So when Srila Prabhupada went to the West, in the early morning, he used to take the devotees for a morning walk in the Golden Gate Park, Stow Lake. When Prabhupada went, he observed the nature and told the devotees how to see Krishna in the nature, everywhere. So there were a lot of pebbles. Prabhupada said, look at this, thousands of pebbles, looks beautiful. But like that, Krishna creates millions of universes, he said, by saying that. So everything he saw in the nature, he saw a tender rose flower, he said, just look at its beauty, look at its fragrance, look at its design. You know, how can any fool say there is no designer behind this? You want to make a paper rose, you need canvas, you need paint, you need designer. So in this way, unless one develops wonderment in Lord's creation, and unless one develops respect and reverence for Lord's creation, then one will remain dull-headed in one's own small, like a frog in the well, conceptions of material life, and one cannot come out of it. And our performance of bhakti will be very superficial. Okay, I am told to do this, I do this, my routine is over now. You know, aaj kamala ho gaya, latka do bas. Now we will not make any progress. Real progress comes when from the bottom of your heart you have reverence for the Lord. And when that reverence is there, then bhakti is a 24-hour phenomenon. It is not just morning program phenomenon. Apart from that, Prabhupada said, 16 rounds on beats and millions of rounds off beats. So how do you do millions of rounds off beats? For that you have to be Krishna conscious all day. For us to be all day Krishna conscious, from the bottom of the heart we have to trust the Lord's greatness. And that trusting the Lord's greatness and our smallness gives us respect for Him. When we have respect for Him, then we can approach Him with the bhakti bhava, understanding His greatness. And the chanting of the holy name helps us to cleanse our spectacles, to see the world with proper perspective. It produces humility, it produces tolerance, it produces admiration for the Lord. Holy name is a very great secret. It produces the necessary qualifications for us to approach the Lord and attain Him ultimately. Harinam Prabhu ki. Let's offer our humble obeisances and to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like the trees or ocean of mercy, full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnava vrindaki Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki